Antiques-obsessed Canadian turns a $15,000 hoarder house into a $400,000 profit. When Alexander Archbold first toured the derelict house in Provost, Alberta, it was filled with newspapers, had shoddy electricity and seemed to be falling down. Naturally, beneath the home's plumes of dust and decades of discard, Archbold saw treasure. And, I love exploring, says Archbold, 40, who kicked off his latest quest with a video called Since Mid-January. Archbold has spent his weekends hunting through the house for valuable second-hand goods and showing off his finds on his YouTube channel with nearly as many subscribers as HGTV's. Archbold's ongoing series with more than a dozen installments so far may have been an immediate hit online, but it comes after years of hard work building a creative internet presence, Archbold says. What started as a way, there were many times I thought about packing it up and getting a normal job, he says, but I stuck with it through thick and thin. Hunting for treasure. In Archbold's first video of the house, plastic bags litter the staircase. Towers of card. This didn't deter Archbold, who bought the house for $20,000 CAD, the equivalent of about $15,000 and got to work, chronicling his vintage finds and renovation efforts in a YouTube series. The house the series has racked up more than 6.6 million views in the 2 months since Archbold posted his first Potter's House video, but the antique collector has been laying the groundwork for over 2 years. After leaving the film industry in his late 20s, Archbold says he worked various gigs, opening a toy shop with his wife at one point and managing 2 Apple stores at another. It was a good paying job, but it didn't have any adventure, Archbold says. I felt like a piece. It was clear Archbold was unhappy. He says he became depressed and started questioning his purpose in life. So he and his wife took a life-changing risk. The pair took out the store, also named Curiosity Incorporated, is not in a naturally high-traffic location, Archbold says. By using social, Archbold had been building his YouTube following, filming and posting his searches for valuables inside junkyards, estate sales, and storage units for 2 years when he heard about the house. One of his Today, Archbold posts videos from inside the house at least once a week, the accumulation of the 18 to 22 hours of work every weekend. The channel's videos. While the house was originally scheduled for demolition, Archbold says, one of its greatest surprises was its relatively solid bones. As far as the he has already sold some of the home's antiques, though Instagram and Facebook platforms he says open his sales up to buyers far away from his Edmonton antique shop. Archbold says a lot of hard work. The son of artists, Archbold says running Curiosity Incorporated allows him to tap into that creativity, taking risks and making his own decisions, but it's not as stable as managing Apple stores. I went from having the certainty of a full-time job with a reputable company to now having this crazy weird empire, Archbold says. That lack of stability. Our first YouTube paycheck was like $35. It was like, the trade-offs, though, are worth it for the time he gets to spend with his family, Archbold says. I get to include my family, my wife, and kids, and we get to do pretty much whatever we want, Archbold says. If I want to buy it. As for what's next, Archbold doesn't see the house series coming to an end anytime soon. Viewers can expect this is the continuing real-life drama that happens to anybody, Archbold says. I just happen to be